Chapter 3, Class 6, we'll deal with fiber to fabric. On the screen, you can see the most beautiful artist of the nature. This artist is the weaver bird. This weaver bird, it can actually weave its nest from twigs and from the leaves. How spectacular! Beautiful nest, twigs and the leaves are being interlaced together. This little weaver bird is weaving its nest. That means, like humans, a weaver bird weaves its nest with its beak. The weaver bird can stitch its twigs and leaves to make its nest. Now, the historical and the archaeological accounts, they tell us that the ancient times, people, they used to cover their body with bark, big leaves, animal skin, and fur. As you can see, they used to use big leaves, animal skin, and fur. Now, with time, as man learned to settle into agricultural communities, he started doing farming, growing plants. He also began to weave twigs and grasses. And he started weaving twigs and grasses to make mats and the baskets. Similarly, man also started to weave or twist together the hair, animal fleece, stretched and twisted together to make long strands. These long strands, they were woven into fabric. Even later, as large scale farming began in India, the origin of cotton farming is traced. As you can see on the screen is a large cotton farm. This cotton farming gave cotton fibers. Cotton fibers are used to make the cotton shirts, cotton bed sheets. Now, this flax is another plant that gives us natural fibers. The green stalk that you can see in this flax plant, these stalks, they give us the flax fibers. And from the flax fibers, linen fabric is created. The stalks of the flax plant, they give flax fiber. And as you can see, the linen fabric is prepared, is woven from the flax fibers. Now, once the fabric was prepared, early Indians, they just used to drape the fabric completely around their body. It's amazing. Even now, that tradition of using complete fabric as it is draped, like a sari or a dhoti or a lungi or a turban, the fabric was draped as it is around the body. Now, with the invention of a sewing needle, sewing machine, now people started stitching the fabrics into dress materials. And then began the era of fashion. Now we have a variety of dress materials stitched as per our designs. Well, this chapter, Fiber to Fabric, is actually not just a chapter, a topic to be studied. We are talking about what are you wearing today. That means when you go out in market for shopping, you find a variety of fabrics available. Cotton, that is of course the king of all fabrics. Denim, I'm sure you are clear with denim fabric that is used to create the evergreen blue jeans. Then, as you move on in the market, you can find the smooth velvet, georgette, chiffon, polyester, rayon, linen, spandex. The spandex is the one that is used to obtain the swimsuits. Then, of course, the nylon t shirts, everybody of us know, tweed, and the elastics. That means there's a variety of fabrics which are available in the market. This pretty little girl, Gungun, she had to go out for a lunch party. She opened her wardrobe and she decided, trying to choose, wondering which dress should she choose. All the fancy dresses in her wardrobe, they were either silken, shiny silken, or synthetics. She immediately decided, no, I cannot wear these. These would be very uncomfortable in the sweltering heat outside. Finally, she took out a simple cotton skirt and top because that's quite comfortable during the summer season. That simply means that the variety, different types of fabrics, they have different properties, different textures. And if you notice a single fabric, it's not a one continuous piece. You can always pull out a thread from the fabric. A fabric is not one continuous piece. A fabric is made up of yarns arranged together. Now, a single yarn, if you just press one end of the yarn with your thumb and finger and scratch the yarn along its length, scratch the thread along its length, you will find that the yarn will split up into thin strands. Such finer strands are called as fibers. Often, when you try to put this little thread into the eye of a needle, sometimes we find it very difficult because this thread or this yarn has many finer strands, the fibers coming out of the topmost end. That clearly shows us fibers that make up the yarn. So that means concluding that a fabric, a simple cotton handkerchief, you can always pull out using a pin a yarn out of it. A fabric is made up of yarns, that means threads arranged together. And a yarn, a thread, splits up into thinner strands which are called fibers. That means concluding that fibers all twisted together to make up a yarn, and yarns arranged together to make up a fabric. This is what the name of your chapter is: fiber to fabric.